Hi, this is Celeste, and I am doing a special broadcast on an overview of the global governance situation. And I really feel that this is important that you get a handle on this because our media is flooding the gates with the events of Revelation and prophecy. We are actually watching prophecy coming to pass before our very eyes, and so we need to understand that that's where we're at. And I am going to make this broadcast public, and so I want everyone to know. First off, I did work for FEMA and Department of Homeland Security when that came into being. I participated in all the major events and disasters from Y2K to 9/11 to floods, tornadoes, hurricanes, earthquakes, you name it, we did it. And I was a part of that. The Lord took me from medicine into that arena so that I could glean information and bring it to you for these days and these times. And so do I work for them still? No. I paid a heavy price. I left a life. I left my family, a home, my friends, everything that I was comfortable with to live in poverty and really not know where I was going to live. I had to do it in faith. I did go to my inner circle and ask them, am I seeing things right? Am I interpreting this? Is there another way? And there really wasn't another way. Why did I leave? I left because I would have been in a management position to either imprison you or have you put to death. And they thought that it was very funny. And when I heard that evil laugh, I knew that I could not participate and they were not taking no for an answer. So I had to disappear. And that is why I left. I also want you to know that I am a believer in Jesus Christ. I am a very vibrant believer. I believe in the Word of God. I live by the Word of God. I invite you to join my Patreon account at shepherdsheart.life, and there you can see witness. I do not expect you to take my word for my Christian walk, but I share and am brutally honest with my patrons, my struggles, my joys, and walking this walk of faith. And you are welcome to check that out, even if you just want to verify that I am who I say I am. And I think all of you should be good Bereans and do that. We need to start gleaning information from sources that are Christians. There is a big reason for that because we live in this age of deception and there is a war for the truth right now. And so you need to be very sure where the source of information, where they're standing. Are they telling you the truth? Are they practicing deception? Are they in alignment with the Word of God? We all need to use those filters as we glean information so that we can make wise decisions for these days ahead. So I am going to show you an overview of what we're up against. I ask you, please lay aside your normalcy bias. We all come from different positions, whether you believe in the rapture, mid-trib, we're going to go through the whole thing. I'm asking you to lay that aside for a few brief moments and look and see where we're at. Try not to duck and put your head in the sand. Even for me, and I am trained in plans, am having difficulty embracing that this is where we're at. We've been talking about prophecy for a long time, and it's here now. And that is really kind of hard to wrap your mind around. And so I just thought a visual might help. So I'm going to go ahead and, like I always say, the caveat is I'm not very good at screen sharing, but I'm going to do my best here. So basically, what has transpired is that COVID-19 is being used to inject, and I use that term, inject, because it's much like a snake venom, global governance into the world. That what they had to do is bring the whole world to a standstill so that they could inject the global governance. It will be titrated out a little bit, but so it's not going to, like one day you're not going to wake up and it's 100% global governance, but we are on the fast track of global governance right now. So this comes from the worldeconomicforum.org, as you can see, and this is the COVID action platform. And you can, in your own time, you can watch this overview. Usually the overviews are about 3 minutes, and it will be a real eye-opener for you. So what is the purpose of this COVID action platform? It is to galvanize the global business community for a collective that's fascist global action. It is to protect people's livelihoods and facilitate business continuity, protect people's livelihoods within the beast or New World Order system. And to facilitate business continuity is basically the business equivalent of the continuity of government, which is known as COOP or COG, whichever acronym you would like to use. And then mobilize cooperation from you. So you're going to be asked to make sacrifices. You are going to be asked to cooperate. And by your voluntary cooperation, they are assuming that you are endorsing what they are doing. And then there's a business support for this COVID-19. And of course, as I say, the coronavirus and its effects affect global health, the economy, and much, much more. And we're going to just take a peek at that right now. So as you can see, here's the coronavirus. And what does the coronavirus do? So it comes in like these ripples and waves. So there's the government response. So let's just press this and see what happens. So this is the government response. Let's say we're interested in how it is affecting the workforce. We can find out there. So we're looking at the left-hand side of the screen. What about avoiding infection and the spread of COVID-19? So that's a different section. Finding a vaccine has different objectives. The impact on trade has different objectives. This is an operation. It went into effect when President Trump said he was operationalizing because of this global pandemic. The impact on travel, look at how much travel is impacted, and then also your financial markets. So we're looking right now at the left-hand screen. But let's say we want to know what is the government response. So I'm going to press that one. Now, if you look over to your right, up here, it says government response to COVID-19, and that actually goes down. And then there are some related topics. I want you to know that this is approximately 200 layers deep for each item. Before I forgot, this is the coronavirus, and notice the coronavirus is a spiked virus, and notice the spikes, and each one of these spikes are the different areas that coronavirus is impacting. Just like the spike, it was designed in the very model of the global governance that they are implementing. So let's say we want to know about well, so we go down here, and here are the main things that it under global response. So we'll see global governance, public finance and social protection, the workforce and employment, justice and law, financial and monetary systems, and agile government, cities and urbanization, humanitarian action, civic participation, and healthcare delivery. So like I said, each one of these goes down 200 levels. And before I push one of these and we see what's behind the next door, I want you to go to the bottom of the screen and you can find all the articles and videos and data that are current in the news that are talking about this very thing. So these like March 27th, March 27th, March 27th. So it will show you what the media is picking up and messaging to you. So, you know, you have the option to do that. So let's just say we're interested in the global response to COVID-19 and we want to find out about global governance. So we're going to push that button. Now notice the spike, we have a new spike. Just like there's different strains of coronavirus, we now have a new spike, and we've got the resistance or anti-globalism. And so these are the objectives of COVID in response to the anti-globalism. We have the deepening interdependence, and these are the objectives right here. And remember, as we go here, so we've got deepening interdependence. We go over to the right side. Up above, we have the synopsis of what that is. We can listen to an overview. Sometimes it is an audio and sometimes it's a video. And down below, once again, we've got all the articles, starting with today and what media it was put out in. And let's just put video and see if we've got any video content on the deepening interdependence. So we do. We've got some different videos. Are the food supply chain under strains because of the coronavirus? March 26th, that was yesterday, and that came out from the FAO of the United Nations. So now we're going to go back to the left. We're going to find out, so the transnational actors have a part, and these are their objectives. There's institutional pluralism, and these are their objectives. And once again, for each time I'm pushing one of these buttons, over on the right-hand side, there is the synopsis, and we have data, we have publications, and we have videos. Rising multipolarity, and these are the objectives for this. So we are in global governance. Let's just stick with the anti-globalism. So we're going to go down to the bottom of our synopsis. And what does anti-globalism? It affects geopolitics, the United States, the future of economic progress, corporate governance, migration, civic participation, workforce and employment, taxation, Turkey, interesting enough, and geoeconomics. So let's just say that I want to find out how migration is under anti-globalism and global governance. What is migration? What do they say about migration? And see, once again, we have a new strain of the spiked coronavirus, and that deals with migration data and analytics, securitization and rhetoric, governance and regulation, talent patterns, integrating the different migrants' rights. These are all objectives. Conflict and security challenges, the demographic, and inequality and and uneven development. And once again, for each one of these blue ones, there is, over on the right-hand side, your synopsis. And then if you go to the bottom, it will tell you further things. So let's say we want to find out in migration, how about the corruption? Here we go again. We have a new spike of the coronavirus. So is it any wonder that we do have all these various strains around the world? And this, if you think this is going to end, it's not. This is 200 layers deep. So, you know, there's the collective action, the objectives, the business integrity, the illicit financial flows, the rule of law and enforcement, but that's going to be at the UN level, public awareness, transparency and open government, and the rabbit hole goes deeper and deeper and deeper. So let's go back. I'm not even sure how to go back to, let's just do the spread of COVID. So this affects retail and consumers' behavior, global governance, value systems, public finance, social protection, agile government, global health, aging, healthcare delivery, and media. And I'm just going to look under this global governance and I'm going to see, as you can see, each time I push, you know, on the right hand side, it brings the new spike, but that wasn't the one that I wanted. Let's find what they're doing with finding a vaccine. Interesting enough, it has to do with law and justice. And here's all the things with the justice and the law that are going to be changing. And as you can see down below, here's the articles like from yesterday and today. Usually the articles and the videos and the data are within 48 hours, and this is updated. And as I said, you know, you have this brief synopsis up here. So today what I noticed was, well, here's the strategic. If you want to go and explore the 200 different layers, you have to sign up for the World Economic Forum's Strategic Intelligence. I don't know if you want to do that or not, but I did because I want to bring you the news so that you can bring or make wise decisions. So this also has a watch video overview. It's very interesting. But just, I'm going to scroll through this kind of slowly so you can get an idea. Each one of these is being disrupted, and global governance is being inserted in each one of these different things to a layer of 200 deep. So we're starting in our A's. We've got 5G, we've got 3D printing, we've got the automotive, aviation, we've got behavioral sciences, we've got banking and capital markets, we've got biodiversity, biotechnology, blockchain. We've got various countries are being beta tested for certain things, cybersecurity, the fourth industrial revolution is what they're calling this, the future of energy, the future of healthcare. Where did that go? Future of healthcare is up there. The future of mobility. Can you get from here to there, and how, you know, what restrictions are going to be in place? They just came out with a white paper either yesterday morning or this morning with the known trusted traveler, and that is being beta tested right now. So we are going to have a new form of ID. They are inserting all this weird gender parity. It's really a sicko gender parity situation. Let's see. human enhancement. Of course, they say that the babies born in 2030 will all be designed, enhanced, or augmented. There will be no God created humans in 2030. So it goes into investment, Internet of Things, the internet in general, like I said, law and justice, every country. Here you've got the LGBTI inclusion, and oh boy, you don't even want to go there, but someone has to bring you the news of how corrupt this is. Media and entertainment, mental health, migration, metals and mining, neuroscience, nuclear, private investing, precision medicine. And here everything has to be in alignment with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So you've got zero hunger, well-being, health and well-being, and of course only the United Nations can address that for you. Education, gender equality, eradicating poverty, that means eradicating you. Clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy, economic growth, innovation and infrastructure, reduced inequalities. And when they're talking about inequalities, they are not only talking about the difference between men and women, they are also including things like animals and also different entities. And you will find that the synths or synthetic life forms like robots are going to be also included in this, as well as demonic entities and so forth. That is why they did the Clade X and reclassified all life forms. It includes sustainable cities and communities, consumption. As you know, you go to the store right now and your consumption has been disrupted. It will never, ever go back the way that it was. Their plan for you, when you dig into the documents within this website, is they are going to offer you 1.2 ounces of a laboratory created or insect protein, no meat whatsoever, and 36 grams of carbohydrate with no sweetener. The 1.2 ounces of protein is a week, and the 36 grams of carbohydrate is every 21 days. So, and another part of this is that we can take nothing from nature from this point forward. And as a matter of fact, we have to reduce our footprint by a half. So everything that you see here, and if you're involved in a job or if you're involved in farming, there are rules and regulations and mandates being put that you cannot do business as you did before. This is the revelation and prophetic times, and there will be consequences if you do not go along with their program. That could be imprisonment for a brief time, but for those that cannot be re-educated quickly, it will mean death. The supply chain, as we know, has been disrupted, and they are inserting global governance right now. Sustainable development. Like I said, you can go to any country and find out what they're beta testing in that particular country. A big issue is the value system. They are very active in changing your value system to what they want you to believe. And virtual and augmented reality, that is what social distancing is all about. Many of us would have been resistant to do everything in our life virtually or augmented. And now with social distancing, we can't get together. There's different penalties depending upon where you're at for gathering. And also there's the fear of disease. So basically we are doing everything from ordering things, doing Zoom meetings, holding classes, just networking and getting, just talking with one another. We're doing this all through virtual reality and augmented reality, and this is going to increase. In the future, you will not have doctor's appointments except via this way. You're going to have to do your banking this way, and of course, it's all tracked and traced. So I think that's it. If you wanted to sign up for that strategic intelligence, it's called Top Link, and then you would put in your email and you would put in a password and you would sign up, and then of course you have to sign in every time you go in, but it is constantly changing, and they are, just for your information, they are changing the websites. So when I give you a website, so since yesterday they've changed the oh, that's what I was going to show you. I do want to show you this. So when you go to the World Economic Forum, what you want to do is go to this platforms tab, and then you can go down and you can see the panorama of everything that they are disrupting as a result of COVID-19, and that they are inserting the global governance under all of these different things. And let's say you're interested in public good. So you press that button. It gives you a synopsis. It gives you all of the different projects. So it includes forests, water, climate initiatives, civil society, once again, the sustainable global goals, climate governance, a circular economy. These are things that I've been talking about in my global governance series for the last, I think, about 8 weeks. Incentivizing food systems. They want to radically change the food system. Like I said, we cannot no longer take anything from nature, and we are supposed to just do lab food. And I am going to get this up here. I should have done this one earlier, but I'm going to, if you want to see something really scary. So let's see, it's the Onion and it's the Taco Bell. So if you do YouTube Onion Taco Bell, and then you play this, it's basically a spoof like the morning talk show hosts or talk shows on the mainstream networks. And it says Taco Bell's new green menu takes no ingredients from nature. Now, see, at this point, which was 10 years ago, they were floating this bubble, getting you used to the idea that we were not going to take any food from nature. And it was done in a satire form. And even to this day, people go, oh, it's just a satire. No, they are actually implementing it. They actually started implementing it in 2009. We saw this at our local Taco Bell. And we also saw at Burger King, there was a billboard that said, our hamburgers are so good, it grows hair in your mouth. And what the scientific studies show is that if you eat products with GMO, it will grow hair in your mouth. So, but people didn't know that. They thought that, the billboard was just kind of being funny. So I really encourage you to watch this Taco Bell new green menu that takes no ingredients from nature, and you're going to get an idea of what this global governance has for you. That's what I have to share. It was not as succinct as my interview with L.A. Marzulli yesterday, but both we were under kind of like enemy resistance. Let's put it that way. LA's video did not go, which this is, as you can see, it is so deep and it is so complex that, like I said, even myself, who am trained and this is my area of expertise, I have a hard time wrapping my brain around it. So without the visual, it's really hard for you to see all the layers of depth to this. And sorry, I'm doing in the middle of a bread making class. And so if I'm scatterbrained, I'm thinking bread, but I felt like I needed to do this so that you got an idea of what's bearing down on us. And this is happening like by the minute. If you look at those articles, it's just, like I said, it's like a fire hose at us. So anyway, God bless. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I apologize for my scatterbrainedness, but like I said, this is typically my house cleaning and day, but I am giving a bread making class right now. So I'm going to get back to the ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to continue our bread making classes. So we'll see you next time.